Hello, this is David from DN Cognitive Counseling. Tonight is not going to be a political discussion or thought process, although some people are going to interpret it that way. But this is actually coming out of concern and actually from a personal story as well. I want to look at the last few minutes of Jill Biden's speech at the Democratic convention that took place last night, which was August 18th. And in this speech, at the very end, Joe Biden comes out and speaks. And there's been a lot of controversy about his first words, but I'm actually more interested in his later words. So let's take a look at this.
Everyone, I'm Joe Biden's husband.
So the first thing he says is, I'm to what I sounds like Joe Biden's husband. Now again, there are people that are arguing it's Jill Biden, not Joe Biden, and people are talking about his mental status in terms of stating that. Now, Joe Biden is known to have many gaffes throughout his years, but the nature of this is, and it sounded to me like he said Joe Biden's husband, but that mistake, given the fact he's saying Jill and Joe, you could see where it's something called cognitive dissonance. Somebody can make the mistake in a name, especially when it's close, and especially if it may sound alike. But to me, it sounded like he's saying Joe Biden's husband, but something a little bit later is even more important, I think, and that's not been talked about.
Excuse me, you can see why she's the love of my life, the rock of our family. She never gives herself much credit.
Just to go back, just so you can hear it again.
She's the love of my life. Excuse me, you can see.
Just to go back and hear it one more time.
Hey everyone, I'm Joe Biden's husband. As you heard tonight, excuse me, you can see why she's the love of my life, the rock of our family. She never gives herself much credit. But the truth is, she's the strongest person I know. She's a backbone like a ramrod. She loves fiercely, cares deeply. Nothing stops her when she sets her mind into getting something right. And you know, for all of you out there across the country, just think of your favorite educator who gave you the confidence to believe in yourself. That's the kind of first lady. Lady, this Jill Biden will.
Now, you see where he's going ahead. Look at his eyebrows and look what he said. This lady. Now, why do you think that he's saying lady a bunch of times? Is it for emphasis? Is to help his speech? His facial recognition or his facial structure is stating something to you. What do you pick up on from that? Now, the reason why I'm concerned is that I just had a situation in my own personal family, and this is near and dear to my heart. A few months ago, I was speaking to a family relative who I'm very close with, and I brought up the fact that I was very deeply concerned about a family member who seems to be having cognitive decline. And I thought maybe it was dementia of something of that nature, to which I got a response of very much a defensive response. No, it's because of this, it's this. It was excuse after excuse. And, you know, when I hear that and I know that somebody doesn't want to hear something, I back away. Okay, no problem. You don't want to believe it, no problem. Sadly, I just found out this week that they have actually not dementia, but Alzheimer's, which was more shocking, based upon the age and presentation. But, the symptoms were there. And my question is, and I'm hoping that somebody's going to look at whether or not something's going on here. Because the nature of whether he said Jill Biden or Joe Biden, less of an issue than what's going on when he's lady. He's looking for words. Now, Joe Biden has a stutter. I mean, that has been documented, that we know about. But in his speeches, he doesn't do that. That's looking for a word that you can't get. And whatever the reason was, what was going on, there's something cognitively going on. That's what it looks like. Again, I can't diagnose for sure, and I don't know what was going on in his head. But there's been a number of these things that are actually asking the question, is something wrong? And I know that people jump on and partisan this and partisan that, and it's not a partisan issue. The question is there literally something that's going on wrong here? I know that he was asked whether he would take a cognitive test on one of the shows, and his reaction was not good, to say the least. And that defensiveness is problematic. You really want somebody to go, I'll take any cognitive test you like. You want to give me not a problem. I'll take anything that you like. When you see that level of defensiveness, there might be something else going on. Also, there was a report in the papers about Obama behind the scenes saying, well, this is not so good, and trying to back this down. And if you remember, when 4 years ago, before Trump got elected, it was Obama telling Joe Biden not to run, which begs the question, given he worked so closely with him, did he know something was going on? Did Obama know that there's something going wrong with Joe Biden at that point, why he didn't want him to run? Which asks that question. And again, I don't know if there's legitimacy to that. That's just a theory that I'm putting out there based upon why else wouldn't he? He had him as vice president for 8 years. You would think that the endorsement would have came that I want my vice president to do this. And it wasn't there. And I'm a little bit, at the time, it wasn't really something you were thinking about. But my question is that it may not be anything political or something against Joe Biden. That there might be something that there's medically going on. And I really do hope that this will get either clarified or checked out beforehand, because this is a potential disaster in the making, for two reasons. If Joe Biden does win, and then there's a problem, that's going to be a problem. And if Joe Biden doesn't win, then the fact is, it's still, you need for Joe Biden to know whether or not there's something going on. So it's not a situation, again, political. It is a situation of something medical. And I hope that they're actually looking at it instead of just trying to protect in order to win an election. These are my thoughts. If you agree, you could disagree. You could tell me your thoughts. But if you like this, hit like. If you disliked it, tell me why. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And again, you can always become a patron to the channel by clicking the Subcribe-star link below. I wish you a good night and good mental health.